Welcome back, everyone. We are starting off our first North American series of the day with Spacestation Gaming versus Unitas.
All right, Elemental Windwalker again from Spacestation Gaming. It's been their bread and butter throughout the circuit stage. Unitas really getting their last shot here. This is a team that we were hyping up, a combination of both the LATAM region and the APAC region between Australia, New Zealand and LATAM. So Aiden on that rogue. We thought that this team was going to be able to really mix things up, but they have been struggling.
Oh my god, I just came up with the sickest name for this comp. Fist of Heavens. Anybody who played Diablo 2 get that. Alright, here we go. We got Smacksan, Chan, Goreki. But you really don't get it, Sid.
I'm too scared of Diablo 2.
You get it?
I get it, of course.
Okay, because it's like there's a Holy Paladin, there's a Fist, there's Lightning.
Okay, well, it looks like we are going to be opening up on his Spexin with a shot. And we can see just how much damage they're going to be able to put out. It seems like CMD is actually the one on the back foot right now. I'm curious to see how Unitas decide to play this one. At this point, they're just trying to play spoiler in this tournament. Smexen almost going down, 10% health, Divine Fave, but it gets mind controlled. They dispel the Divine Favor. This is actually going quite well for Unitas. Let's see if Spexton's going to be able to hold on. I think he will. Noraki's going to be able to top him off with his Avenging Wrath. And looks like a kidney shot will eventually land. But with this positioning from Goreki, it's going to be really difficult for CMD to actually land a polymorph.
See if they can manage to get crowd control here. These mind controls have been devastating. Aiden's still got Vendetta. They've still got Combustion, so it's a big power play opportunity here for Unitas. Chun-Li, though, ripping in with Fist of Fury, flying onto 2 targets. Big Earth Shot. Oh, Goreki gets counterspelled by CMD. Aiden pulls the trigger on the Vendetta, but they intercept with Lightning Lasso, stalling out the assault, buying time for Goreki to trade Sacrifice during that exchange and stabilize the team. Goreki moves in, Hammer of Justice down, Oxygen breaks out, he's chasing down Goreki. They're swapping to the Paladin with that redirected Sacrifice damage, trying to push for a Divine Shield, but Goreki respects it, gets to safety. Aiden's grapple weapon, the entirety of Unitas are being devastated by Space Station Gaming. Oxygen's trying to pull them back with the Atonement healing from the Smite, not spend too much mana on Shadow Men, opting for the Rapture, trying to get a little bit mobile with his healing as well. Full blind, no trinket, big power play here by Unitas. They get the Astral Shift, they need to try and cut through it. They vanish for the sap, they get the sap out of the blind. Beautiful start by Unitas, trinket into a fear, nice punish there. Beautiful timing by Unitas, but I don't think it's enough crowd control. Divine Favor, Avenging Wrath, they stabilize. They still have Smoke Bomb, they still have Combustion. If they can bait Smexen into a bad position, Unitas could absolutely explode him.
Yeah, Unitas actually looking in a pretty good spot. All things considered here, Goreki could be a swap target as well here. He does have the Divine Shield, but they do have Master Spell for it, and he has not really any other defense. See what they decide to do here. It looks like they're going to be going after Smexen. They get a sheep onto Chan. Let's see if they can get any crowd control onto Gore. Chan actually gets dispelled out of the sheep, and then he paralyzes Oxygen here to shut down the fear. And Goreki, of course, freeing his DPS. So excellent maneuvers there. Actually gets a repentance here onto Oxygen. Smexen, let's see what you can get done with this. Aiden is just all over him. They're having such a field day here. Goreki needs to cross the map once again, but he gets feared on his steed, potentially into a full sheep here. Lightning Lasso though, behind the pillar. Aiden taking so much damage here. Fist of Fury coming out from Chan. Smexen and Chan there isolating a target behind the pillar and basically playing a 2v3, turning that into a 2v1. And now they're out in the open. Vitality Conduit is going to connect. Smexen is going to survive that setup with ease. And now Goreki, here comes the swap we were talking about. Big damage coming. The counter spell, big damage coming in, and Goreki's going to have to use the Divine Shield. Gets Master Spell, but I don't think they can stay on the target. Still, a nice swap is going to net Unitas a big, important cooldown. The only downside for Unitas right now is that Smexen has all of his cooldowns, and Goreki's going to have his trinket if he gets swapped too, and Oxygen's mana. Well, it's looking a little light here, Benricky.
Yeah, it definitely is. Burning through that quite quickly. Full polymorph on a Goreki. Once again, Smexen's going to be using not only his Stone form for the Fireblood, he's also going to be using the Astral Shift. So that's a lot of defense down to a full kidney shot. He's got no trinket. There's nowhere to run. Mind Control comes in. Another polymorph on a Goreki. Do they have any follow-up crowd control? Garrote Silence comes in. Aiden trying to make some plays here. Getting the double silence out, but the Vitality Conduit will go through that. And Space Station Gaming managed to hold on. Now they're actually going after CMD. He's got no trinket. Massive damage coming in from Chun-Li, but they don't even get the cauterize. Super unfortunate. What a close call. But once again, Oxygen, his mana is looking a little bit light, and it's just a matter of time. I mean, the Space Station Gaming can hold on. Gorecki, it's not going to be easy. He's getting low. He's got no Vitality Conduit. Divine Favor gets dispelled, but there's no interrupt. Now the Avenging Wrath comes in. Gorecki, just constant Avenging Wrath, tops himself off, heals onto Smexen. Space Station Gaming, they hold on, and now Gorecki has his trinket back up, the Gladiator Medallion, so if they go after him, he's going to have a break, and if they go after someone else, he also has to sacrifice. So Space Station Gaming defensively is looking okay right now.
They just need to hold it together a little bit longer. Swap to Gorecki again out in midfield. Gorecki trying to escape here on the Steed, but no freedom. Goes for a Divine Favor, gets out the Holy Light, but if they can stay on target, it could be devastating. Aiden still grapple weapon for a moment. Chun-Li's trying to force Aiden off of Gorecki and protect him, but the whole team is getting whittled down at this point. Aiden gets stun locked. Oxygen's in position, though. Should be able to recover him. Drops the barrier right at the end of that stun. CMD blinks in aggressively. There's very little mana remaining for Unitas. They need to close this out sooner than later if they want to take game one victory. CMD is forced back at the pillar by Smexen. Aiden switching to Smexen, trying to pressure him. Now caught in the lightning lasso, potentially a big Earthshock. He saved up a lot of Maelstrom. Earthshock over onto CMD. Not enough damage to crack the Cauterize just yet, but Oxygen's still in a Paralyze. Waiting to get out of crowd control. Vitality Conduit soaks the Earthshock. Oxygen's moving in on top of Gorecki. They really need to win on this setup, but there's still so many options for Space Station Gaming to survive it. They would have to throw on this next attempt. It's at least 2 or 3 more crowd control attempts for them to be able to win. Full blind. Are they really not going to trade a trinket for this? Smexen trinket, Astral Shift. That may not be enough at 7% dampening. Nice sap after the blind. Garrote follow-up. Astral Shift's defense has faded. Sap still remains for 1 more second. Is it enough time? Mind Control at low health on the Avenging Wrath. Oxygen gets stunned on it. And Gorecki should be able to recover with some big heals. And now it's 8 CMD who is in trouble. Big pressure with that lightning lasso. Oxygen still trying to chase down Gorecki. Gets intercepted with a Paralyze. CMD's Temporal Shield not healing for too much. 0 mana. Basically no cooldowns from Oxygen. He's relying on that Ice Block and Cloak of Shadows. They fear Chun-Li. Smexen drops the Tremor on it. Stormkeeper's up. He's got 2 big lightning bolts in his back pocket. 1 lightning bolt on the CMD, 2 lightning bolts on the CMD. Oxygen with no mana remaining. His barrier just came off cooldown if he wants to dump that. Touch of Death is ticking. Chun-Li about to have a massive hit onto CMD in about 2 more seconds. Fists of Fury flying. Big Dress to Death combo. Oxygen trying to stabilize throughout the assault. Drops the Vitality Conduit. Using his own health to recover CMD. They're just chasing Gorecki, but Gorecki still has his Gladiator's Medallion. He has Divine Shield. He has Blessing of Protection. They go for the Smoke Bomb swap to Smexen, trying to power down with the Dark Archangel. Can they intercept Gorecki? They do with the Psychic Scream on its way in. There's no Tremor Totem. How is Space Station gonna respond in this position? They sneak in the sacrifice 1 second before the Polymorph, stabilizing Smexen for now. Unitas battling with nothing left.
That was insanely well played. Chun went into the smoke bomb, peeled it up, and then after that, gave Smexen enough time to get that grounding totem there, which is why he could get that sacrifice, hold on to his trinket through that entire chain here, and now Gorecki has pretty much every cooldown except the sacrifice. Smexen has pretty much every cooldown. There's no threat of a smoke bomb. Oxygen is no mana. And Aiden is in a leg sweep. There comes the Earthshock. Repentance is getting casted out. It's going to connect here. How are you going to survive? Oxygen trinketing out of it. He has enough mana for a powered barrier maybe here. But Aiden pushing in here. He goes for the blind here onto Smexen. Smexen could trinket out. Gorecki is just going to use his trinket instead. Smexen's going to sit through the crowd control chain and getting sapped now. I don't know if I agree with Smexen sitting through the CC chain here, but they traded out Gorecki's trinket, so he should be completely fine for now. But it does give Oxygen a little bit of time to recover his Vitality Conduit. Gives him enough time to recover some mana as well here. Kidney onto Gorecki. There's the full Paralyze. Vendetta is out here. Big damage coming out from Aiden. He's trying to get some pressure in this match, but Gorecki has his Divine Protection up right now, and he has his Divine Shield, and CMD takes a big hit to the face. Battlemaster is going to come out, Temporal Shield as well, and he is getting purged on that Temporal Shield. Blinking forward, Aiden, he has his evasion, he has his Cloak of Shadows, but he needs to be careful. After that feint, a dress could drop him from 100% by himself, and it looks like Space Station are just about ready to just take this game home here. I don't know how they're going to be able to survive on Unitas side much longer, but
He's just got no mana. CMD, I mean, he's got the Cauterize, he has the Ice Block. Aiden has a few tools left to work with. That was a beautiful barrier by Oxygen. Yeah, I mean, his defensive cooldown usage is the only reason his team is still alive. They're actually going after Chun-Li. Aiden getting a little bit low. He trades at the feint. Rapture shields come in. He gets paralyzed on it. He's got no trinket. Aiden vulnerable. CMD vulnerable. The damage finally starting to rip in. Touch of Death. used by Chun-Li. Let's see if Aiden does end up falling. It looks like Touch of Death was on CMD. Aiden's getting lower. It's going to be Cloak of Shadows. It's going to be evasion. He gets disarmed just to add insult to injury. No pressure here for Unitas whatsoever. Actually, they are getting a little bit of damage. It would be a complete throw by Spacestation Gaming if they do lose this game. Chun-Li caught into his stun. There's no way he's going to go down. They have sacrifice. They have everything. And Aiden with no tools left. He's a great target. CMD as well. The Ice Block comes in. But Oxygen, how could you ever top off your team in this situation? The full leg sweep. Aiden somehow, some way, still alive with a feint, a little final act of defiance, but he's alive. What's happening right now? I mean, Unitas, are they recovering? I don't know how this game is still going. Good defensive play by Unitas, but you get the feeling that it's going to end sooner or later, and it does. On Space Station Gaming, they had great defensive plays. You got to give it to Unitas, though. I mean, they actually, until Oxygen ran out of mana, that game wasn't looking too bad for them.
Yeah, well done by Space Station Gaming. Game 1 victory for them, but let's talk about the setups on either side here. Like you were saying, Ben, Unitas almost taking down Space Station Gaming, but in the end there, Space Station Gaming winning game number 1, Zico.
Yeah, Space Station Gaming. I mean, this is a matchup where Space Station Gaming, they need to survive the big CC chain, the blind chains, you know, the polymorph and the fear chains. And once they do that, they can look for opportunities to get aggressive. And I mean, in this game, both teams played a pretty clean defense. So what happened was just Oxygen, he just ran out of juice. And unfortunately for him, that means his team is going to lose.
Given how game number 1 went there, do we feel like they could potentially tie it up on the side of Unitas, Supatis?
Yeah, I think on a smaller map, definitely getting swaps over to Greki more frequently. I think it's going to really spell trouble for Space Station Gaming. So I'm sold that Unitas could still pull this off. Their most difficult maps are obviously going to be the bigger ones, as Space Station Gaming can kind of just bank on these dampening kills and attrition the priest out. But on the smaller maps where they're going to get pressured a lot more, if Unitas plays a good game, I wouldn't say that it's going to be an easy series for Space Station.
Yep. Yeah, but now they are 1-0 here. It is a best of 5 once again. Space Station Gaming, they've had a pretty clean BFA circuit so far. That game number 1, pretty solid from them, and it just goes to show why this is such a strong team, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Space Station Gaming, they're a team, they always pick a composition. It always involves a Windwalker Monk, but they always pick a composition that no one else is running, and it's all they play. Like at one point it was Windwalker Destro when no one was playing Windwalker Destro, and then it was Windwalker Demon Hunter when no one was playing Windwalker Demon Hunter. Then it was Windwalker Arms Warrior when no one was playing Windwalker Arms Warrior, and now it's Windwalker Ellie. So they pick compositions that really, you know, can showcase Chun-Li on that monk. And Greki normally plays a really, really meta healer. In this case, it's Paladin, and they find success with it. I mean, there's only a few teams that have been able to beat them, and this game against Unitas is looking like it is going in their favor, but definitely can't count Unitas out yet. Still playing spoiler in this tournament, looking to put up I was reading that lower third, Fist of the Heavens, Past Judgment on RP. I gotta say that's from Diablo 3 as well, Zico, so just want you to know that, not Diablo 2.
Diablo 3, lol.
There's no Fist of the Heavens in Diablo 2.
What?
Is that what you're calling the comp?
Wait. Are we looking this up right now, then?
Please look it up.
Just wait.
There's no monk, man.
There's a paladin, and it's a paladin ability. No wonder you didn't like
Tell
the
me
name.
about it.
Did you even
Tell
play
me
Diablo
about
2?
it.
Okay.
Yes,
you
I
press
played
it,
Diablo 2.
And then after a couple of seconds, a little lightning thing hits you, and then there's like a little bzzz. And if you have like a lot of... Actually, no, it hits the target. I don't remember, okay? I didn't play Diablo for a long time, but it's from Diablo 2, bro.
I need confirmation on that one. I'm not sure.
It's a paladin.
All right. Anyone in chat that knows for sure.
You got the lightning. That's the comp. But
I think we'll run with it.
True.
Wait, what's it called? What's it called again? Say it like
Fist of Heavens?
Fist of Heavens. That's what we're calling the Space Station Gaming comp.
Whatever. I don't want to.
I like it.
Let's just stick to trampoline cleave.
Well, either or, Space Station Gaming looking super solid on that composition. Unitas locking in same comp as well. We are going to hook point. How do we feel about this map choice here, Super Tees? Do we think Unitas is going to be able to get some setups on Space Station?
Yeah, it's a good rushdown map. I think that's exactly what they need. Curious to see when they decide to make the swap, if they're going to start on Paladin right away or not. And I'm glad that we're settling this. So
Vanny's 100% looking up Tristan Evans right now.
I think he actually, you know what? I think he might actually be right. I think it actually is a
Of course I'm right.
Okay, I told you.
of course.
It's not fair. You know you have a. It's not fair. You have a better memory than me. All right. Who played that?
Maybe just played more Diablo.
I played that build, okay? That was a griefer build in PvP.
Plays arcade.
Back to World of Warcraft, game number 2 here. Unitas trying to tie it up 1-1, but it is Space Station Gaming versus Unitas, game number 2.
Well, let's see if they can pull it off here. Unitas need to bank on aggression as their kind of key to victory. It's what their team has got available to them. They lock in the most aggressive map, but Space Station Gaming have a solid defense. They sap the Shaman. I think they're going Paladin right off the bat. They set up Chun-Li. They're going in onto Gorecki. Are they going to actually? No, they swap back to the Shaman. Triple crowd control, faking him out. Big hit on Smexen in midfield, looking to cut through the Astral Shifter. Mind control him at low health and deny some follow-up healing. They stun Oxygen on the mind control. Nice punish by Gorecki. They swap the Oxygen in the Hammer of Justice, really mixing it up here, trying to use the aggressive map aggressively themselves, but Oxygen just walking it off. Aiden now stunned around the corner, counterspelled by CMD. Good teamwork there. Smexen could get smoke bombed in the near future if he runs too far away from Gorecki. Polymorph snipe, stun onto Smexen. Beautiful setup here by Unitas. They need a bit more damage, though. They're not finding the damage. They continue the chain at least, buying them more time to find damage. Psychic Scream double with the silence to cover the Tremor, but Tremor slips in right at the last second. Divine Favor dispelled instantly on Gorecki, but Vitality Conduit's already rolling. Oxygen now in a stun. CMD getting blasted. Oxygen trinkets out, respecting the damage here, trying to recover. Lightning Lasso swap to Aiden. Huge connect between Chun-Li and Smexen, devastating Aiden. Recovering now with the Vitality Conduit of Oxygen. And Unitas continue to push forward. They swap over to Gorecki.
Oh, big push here. They get the Divine Protection. Can they get anything more? They got the Dark Archangel really loading up some fireballs, but Gorecki rushing that off with his Vitality Conduit. He's got his wings active, and I think he got an ineffable proc because Divine Protection is almost back of CD here. So Gorecki looking to potentially do some work here with those wings. Can keep his team nice and aggressive and just avoid Aiden for now. Pretty decent opener so far for Space Station Gaming, but here we go. Pre-Vitality before the stun. Gorecki really making MVP plays. Chun-Li with the leg sweep, and of course Smexen with the Lightning Lasso, stopping everybody while their healer is stunned. And once again, playing to that win condition, getting their mana, and of course, just keeping their healer alive. And now you're going to see Gorecki trying to swap side here. Chun is just trying to stop Aiden from getting their Oxygen in a full Hammer of Justice. Do they have any follow-up crowd control? It does not look like it. Gorecki, I'm not sure if he's playing Repentance, but he was last game. Definitely not going to be able to find it right now. Wings going to be proccing once again. Divine Protection ready once again. He's going to use Trinket this time. Big damage coming out there with the combustion from CMD. And Gorecki should be okay now using his Trinket there. But this tunnel, the Paladin strat seems pretty effective so far for Unitas actually. They haven't really had to use any real defense. They've burnt through quite a lot of mana, but they also forced a decent amount of cooldowns here.
Yep. Something I've noticed that's not really relevant to the game, but Aiden is actually playing a male Night Elf Rogue, which I don't think I've ever seen in my entire, out of all my years of casting, I don't think I've ever seen that. So I just wanted to shout that out. It looks like Gorecki is going to be trading out the Blessing of Protection for that full blind and kitty shot on Smexen. So Gorecki really just wanting to stay, kind of heads up, not fall behind on cooldowns, and I think it's a good position to be in. Don't let Unitas get any in the matchup. Gorecki still just positioning very well, realizing that he is probably the best target for them to go after, and he's just going to be positioning across the map once again. He gets a Hammer of Justice on Oxygen, crosses the map, CMD getting bursted down. Oxygen forced to Trinket out of the Paralyzed to get full utilization of that Rapture cooldown, which he just used, and that should be more than enough for him to survive. But now it's going to be Gorecki who's in a little bit of trouble here, Sid.
It's got the Divine Protection. They purged the combustion. I think he's going to be fine here. They're still tunneling, but Lightning Lasso pins Aiden. Smexen retreating with Gorecki, soaks the counterspell, so Gorecki's easily going to stabilize here. Oxygen's mana not looking good here. Only 3.5 minutes in. He's in a Hammer of Justice. They're swapping to Oxygen. He paint suppressions himself. Now that won't be available for a teammate. They swap to Gorecki again, but Divine Protection comes up in 1 out. He's going to have to Divine Shield here, I think. 1 second into the silence, they do finally get... Don't go for the Mass Dispel. I really don't want him to Mass Dispel because it costs way too much mana. They should keep that as a resource. rather than use it there. There's no way Gorecki goes down, but that was one saving grace. They got Divine Shield out of the way. Now they need to pray that N'Zoth doesn't proc Ineffable, because it could bring that Divine Shield down from 4 minutes to pretty much ready and available if Gorecki gets lucky here. Can the Unitas stay on target? They get another swap 2 seconds before the trinket, denying the Avenging Wrath. Smexon tries to help out with the Grounding Totem, buying enough time to live the kidney shot. Smexon gets counterspelled on Stormkeeper. They're still just chasing Gorecki down here on the pillar. The entirety of Unitas gunning for Gorecki's life, but now Oxygen and a Hammer of Justice. They could swap to Oxygen. They drop a smoke bomb defensively. Smexon runs into the bomb to try and close out the kill on Oxygen. There's not much defense for him. Huge swap to Oxygen. Beautiful punish on Unitas' pursuit of Gorecki. Space Station Gaming go to match point.
Wow, difficult matchup here on the side of Unitas. Space Station Gaming now up 2-0 here. Unitas, pretty quick game there on hook point. What is their next move then? What are they going to do if they want to turn this around?
Well, I think at this point the only real option for them is Yoski coming in on the Protection Paladin, and I'm gonna pull a Sid right now.
You said it. You said it before I did. Holy.
I know. I knew you were going to, though, right? Admit it. You were gonna do it.
I wasn't. I know.
But we could see how the setup kind of played out. It was the Touch of Death, a full Hammer of Justice, and the Priest normally isn't a great target to go after. The one kind of condition you have for going after a Priest is he's got no trinket, and then he has no pain suppression. If those two things are true, then you can actually 100 to 0 Priest in a stun lock combo, and that's exactly what Chun-Li, Spexon, and Gorecki capitalized on. They were able to close out this game pre-dampening, and like you said, at this point, if you're Unitas, what do? It feels like they can win as RMP, just not an easy matchup for them. Maybe they want to, tag in Yoski on something, but I don't know if that'll happen. I think for the most part, they're just going to continue this RMP and see if they can make it work.
Well, what do you want to see then, Supatis?
Just keep playing RMP. Oh, they did.
All right. Okay, look at that. They're going to
One
play
time
RMP
One time I didn't vote for Prot.
That's rare for you. Proud of you.
You should do it more often.
This is because I don't think Prot would be good, to be honest, in this matchup. I'm strategic with my Prot. I only say it when I think that it's good.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay. How do we feel then for game number 3 here, Zico? Tigers peak, Unitas continuing to play RMP. What do we think it's going to take on the side of Unitas if they want to win this game?
It is going to take an avalanche. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. They're going to have to... well, they can't tunnel the Paladin on this map, right? Because they tried it on a small map. So I think on this map, they're probably going to go after either Chun or Smexon, try to get some CC on Gorecki. I'm not sure how that's going to work. I feel like Gorecki has been doing a good job with his positioning. Smexon and Chun doing a good job kiting and disrupting the ghost. So I don't know. I think it's just going to come down to who exposes themselves and, who can find those opportunities.
And what about Space Station Gaming here? They're having a super good series so far. Subati is up 2-0 already. Are they just going to continue the current strategy that they're running?
Yep, keep Gorecki away, protect Gorecki. Full versatility Shaman and Monk going to be really difficult to kill. Don't overlap cooldowns. Keep playing a solid defense. Win on attrition. I mean... pretty straightforward for Space Station Gaming. I think in this, it's up to Unitas to really throw a curveball, lead in here with some big damage if they want to pull off some wins.
All right, well, game number 3, match point, Space Station Gaming versus Unitas.
Really interesting, actually. CMD in the last game, I didn't notice it. He was actually playing Kindling, so he gives up the Meteor and allows him to get out even faster combustion. So really, really quick combustions here. And let's see if they're going to be able to capitalize on that. He actually switched back to Meteor, so not feeling that Kindling for the last game. And I would agree with that decision. Spexon right now getting bursted down a little bit, and he will be trading out his Fireblood racial. So removing all those dots coming in from Aiden. A really, really kind of good soft counter to the Assassination Rogue. Full blind now into Gorecki, and a full kidney shot onto Spexon. Let's see if they have the damage to actually follow it up. How much damage do they have? Gorecki decides to trinket out of it. And I think Smexon should be able to hold on Chun-Li basically playing a solid defense right now, going to be throwing Expel Harms onto Smexin, Grapple Weapon onto Aiden, and really just trying to limit their damage. And it's like you said, Sid, at this point, Chun-Li and Smexin, they're just so durable with the conflict and strife and versatility. Unitas is really going to struggle to find an opening outside of Gorecki in this match.
They did get his Gliders medallion, so they got to figure out a way to get to him. Look how far away Gorecki is from CMD right now, behind that tiger statue. It's a lot of distance, and Aiden's trying to push in, but look, he gets punished as soon as he goes forward. They drop the barrier. Is there a Ring of Peace to knock Aiden out of the barrier? It doesn't look like Chun-Li's going to commit to it. Drops the Drestigath on CMD instead, just maximizing the damage output here to tax Oxygen's mana, maybe bait a cooldown. They swap the Chun-Li out in midfield. They don't decide to drop a smoke bomb. They're just powering as much damage as they can into him, but Vitality Conduit should be more than enough for Chun-Li to recover. And now they've left Smexin open. He's been getting a lot of Flame Shocks up, rotating out for more Lava Surge procs. Just trying to min-max his damage output here. Unitas playing more of a standard game out in midfield at the moment, but the Space Station have been punishing Aiden anytime he even comes close to Gorecki. They go for that Lightning Lasso and look to KO on match points. So close call after close call, but once again, Oxygen stabilizes. Aiden just pushing forward in on Smexin. CMD's just casting fireballs, getting ready. Has combustion available. There's the kidney shot. Are they going to pull the trigger on it? Doesn't look like it. Smexin's recovering with Avenging Wrath. No crowd control on Gorecki. He's just standing in a great position. CMD blinks in aggressively, but right when Oxygen got paralyzed and can't heal, and he has to blink back immediately to Oxygen. Aiden's trying to push in. He doesn't have a feint. If he gets stunned up here, it could be massive. Big Stormkeeper lightning bolts. They grip Aiden to safety. Oxygen starting to recover, but not really. Still in a lot of trouble with the Lightning Lasso. Rapture activates. Big powered shields. Let's see if Smexin gets some clutch purges out here on these shields. He gets stunned up. Beautiful kidney shot denying the purges. Fine time for Oxygen to recover. Blind on Gorecki. Is he going to trade Trinket here? They need to be careful during these blinds. I feel like it's a bit of a disrespect to not trade a cooldown, but the grapple weapon denies the sap. Beautiful timing by Chun-Li. Gorecki gets away with it here, and Space Station Gaming's defense looks solid once again in Game 3.
Yeah, Space Station Gaming just playing the map beautifully right now, and Chun has actually been the target for the majority of the game. Now, if they were playing RM Pala on the side of Unitas, I would be kind of okay with Chun being the main target, but I feel like right now, Chun is not going to die anytime soon. Anytime he's in trouble, he can just Karma the Rogue, Karma the Priest, and he's going to be in a great situation. Once that Karma is down, though, he might be a little bit more juicy of a target, and now they're going to go for Smexin. I like that a lot more. Let's see what they can get down here, but Chun with a nice reversal gets the double leg sweep into the Fist of Fury, paralyze onto the Priest, into potential blind right there from Gorecki. He's going to go for a big heal and then go for the Hammer of Justice as well. Gorecki definitely playing a great game so far. Actually doesn't have it. He needs to be careful so he doesn't get feared here. Smexin though, ready with the Tremor Totem. He's on stun DR, so they can't cover the fear right now. Chun now gonna make his way back. Big Drestigath connects. Blink CS there on the Lightning Lasso. Nicely done there by CMD. Shadow Step kick here by Aiden. Vitality Conduit is rolling right now for Gorecki, and there's no blind for Aiden. There's no polymorphs right now onto Gorecki, so he's having a free reign here, and they get a full hex here onto the mage, and now they have an opportunity to potentially take Aiden down if they can set something up. However, Oxygen still has all of his cooldowns, so right now I think Space Station Gaming, they just want to play a slow kite game around this pillar, just keep slowing Aiden and CMD, and then avoid these crowd control chains and just win on mana, because they're super far ahead in terms of CDs, in terms of mana. But you can't get too complacent against Rogue Mage Priest. You have to have good offense as well, otherwise they're going to just run away with the game. All right, ooh, right there, Garrote into full sheep. This is exactly what I'm talking about. If you lack the offense, Smexin's gonna have to trade cooldowns, and there it is. Trades his Battlemaster, his Stone Form Racial, as well as some other cooldowns there. So nice Garrote sheep there by Aiden and CMD, but they're gonna need a little bit more than that if they want to win this game.
Yeah, Gorecki's going to make a fair trade on that blind into a diminishing return fear. CMD, can he get there for a polymorph? He gets knocked away. Great defense by Chun-Li with a spear hand strike, as well as a Ring of Peace, and that will deny any additional crowd control on a Gorecki, and it looks like Smexin should be completely fine. 3% dampening at this point of the game. That last push burned through a little bit of Oxygen's mana as they try to play offensive onto Smexin. Aiden's going to have to retreat just a little bit. Smexin and Gorecki still just using this pillar. You're really just kind of using Chun-Li as a bruiser in this match. He can basically do whatever he wants. Gets a big Drestigath and forces the Cauterize out on CMD. Great offense, great defense coming in from Space Station Gaming. Aiden now caught into a stun, paralyzed on CMD. He's got the combustion rolling, but there's just no damage whatsoever coming in from this mage. Rapture shields from Oxygen as well, and slowly but surely as this game goes on, it really just feels like Spacestation Gaming is developing more and more of a lead.
Spacestation Gaming, the only team really between North America and Europe to run this Elemental Shaman Windwalker. They put in the work, they put in the hours, and they have the expertise as well as the execution. They are looking like a dominating force here in this series against Unitas. Double leg sweep. Oxygen is basically tapped on mana. They knock CMD out of the barrier. Aiden Shadow steps in onto Smexen to try and make something happen here, but Touch of Death is rolling. Chun-Li commits the Fort Brew to really beef up this Touch of Death. This could be a massive hit on CMD if he is not careful. He mind controls the Touch of Death. Beautiful timing by Oxygen to try and stabilize. Aiden's trying to lead the offense with the Vendetta Dark Archangel, but it's not looking like it's doing too much here. They drop the Dressagath, but not finding any damage. Greki's trying to stabilize. They have a lead on mana. They have a lead on cooldowns. They have a lead in momentum. Aiden's getting huge pressure onto him. Oxygen's trying his best to heal with Atonement, but Spacestation Gaming are line of sighting him. He can't use Smite. He can't consistently heal with Atonement, so it's quite difficult. Finally finding a target for a couple of smites and trying to get that Powered Solace to regenerate some mana to even out with Gorecki, but they're going to need a lot more time if they want to even that one out. Smexing down to half blind on Gorecki. Trinket comes up in one. Trinket's right away. Is there a punish on the Trinket? Doesn't look like it's a punish at the moment. Aiden needs to be careful. Big Earth Shock. Oxygen grips him out immediately. Aiden did not want to get leg swept there. They recover with the Vitality Conduit. Chun-Li gets swapped to for a moment. He stuns up CMD. Bursting with the Storm, Earth and Fire. Pain suppression from Oxygen. They could swap over to Aiden. They use grapple weapon on Aiden during the kidney shot. They paralyze CMD. Chun-Li shuts down the assault. Gorecki has Avenging Wrath up. He's in position for Hammer of Justice. They're really trying to push for the ice block, but they drop a smoke bomb on Smexen. Unitas showing some signs of life here, but Oxygen still crowd controlled even further. 2 more seconds to get an ice block. 1 more second to get an ice block. Lightning Lasso. Shadow Step kick on the lasso. Stalls it just in time for Oxygen to get out of crowd control. He's got the Rapture, big powered shield, Smite, Atonement healing on the kidney shot. Love this timing from Oxygen. The cheap shot Gorecki setting up for Ring of Frost. CMD snipes Ring of Frost around the corner. Polymorphs Chun-Li. Beautiful setup by Unitas. But the Astral Shift is really looking like all they're going to get. They sap after the Ring of Frost. They're trying to power down Smexen here on match point and put any sort of point on the board in the series. Will they manage to do it? They do net sacrifice as well at low health. Unitas have good offense here, but I just don't think they have the stamina to make it deep enough into dampening at this point.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it's looking not too bad right now. No sacrifice and no Astral Shift. That means they have no hard stops for damage. So if they can get Smexen low, that could be a win condition, which to just kill him with raw pressure. Gorecki is struggling with heals as well as Oxygen, but right now it's Oxygen struggling a little bit more. They use the Vitality Conduit, and he is spamming those damage heals, that Atonement healing, Trinketing actually out of a Hammer of Justice now into a potential full sheep, gets sniped onto Gorecki. Don't know how CMD snuck that in, but that is disastrous here. You might need to use his Divine Shield here. If Smexen can get away and potentially stop a Tremor, he could hold on to it. Nice kiting there, and nice shutdown by Chun, slowing Oxygen down there. And Oxygen has no Trinket, no pain suppression, so he could get 100 and 0. Chun has his Touch of Death. The Mage has Trinket. The Rogue has Trinket. Yeah, the Priest is the best target, and Chun is going to realize that. Here we go. Big damage coming in, but first they need to peel the setup. Chun gets crowd controlled. Gorecki trinketing out, dispelling Chun, and now they're looking to set up here. As soon as that Touch of Death gets popped, you can expect Oxygen to potentially go down here. No. It looks like Chun is going to abandon the chase here. Smexen is just taking so much damage right now, but I do think they should go after Oxygen rather sooner than later.
They should.
They can just end the game.
Yeah, they absolutely can. They just have to realize that win condition. Oxygen actually getting buttered up a little bit right now by Smexen for Chun-Li to come and take a bite out of him. He's got the Touch of Death. They got the leg sweep. There is the Touch of Death. Let's see what they can do. Oxygen, he actually gets a free barrier. It's leg sweep knocked out. Nicely done there by Smexen. It looks like Oxygen should be able to hold on, and now Smexen, he's totally compromised his position. I feel like they could have set that up a lot nicer on Oxygen. They could have just outright won. Oxygen beautifully reading that situation, trades his cooldowns perfectly, and now Spacestation Gaming, this game's not looking so good. I mean, Gorecki, he's got no mana left whatsoever. He Divine Shields out of the Polymorph. Smexen's getting low. He's got no real answers. And Gorecki at this point is going to be praying for those ineffable truth procs so he can keep his team alive. But 32% dampening. This is such a close game. Aiden's super vulnerable to a leg sweep coming up in 24 seconds from Chun-Li. If they can just hold on a little bit longer, they might be able to take him out, but they have to hold on. And I don't know if they're going to be able to do it.
Oh, full polymorph. This is the best we've seen from Unitas so far against Spacestation Gaming. Triple fierce. Smexen's isolated and taken down. Unitas pull off the upset on match point and do the impossible. Can they do it 2 more times, though?
Wow, well done by Unitas here. Maybe, potentially, this is where they start to tie it up here. It looks like they're gonna finish it out there. They're not quite leaving the match. Are they going for a cross kill?
There's no way at that point. No, it's over. Okay, good.
Okay. Well done by Unitas. Now 2-1 here. We're going to match number 4 in this best of 5 series here. Now it's going to be Space Station Gaming some map choice. Do we feel like this is when they bring out the Blade's Edge here, Ben?
Well, probably, to be honest with you. That seems to be their favorite map. So go to Blade's Edge, really take full advantage of that trampoline cleave. We can see the final moments of the game. I really feel like if Space Station Gaming had just played it a little bit more patiently, they could have just taken Oxygen down. The thing is, they telegraphed their swap a little bit too much, and it was just too little too late at this point. Gorecki really didn't have any mana left, so he was preemptively using cooldowns. He got caught with no Divine Shield, no trinkets. Mexen, no answers as well, no trinket. And they basically had gotten through all those check marks they needed to finally get a kill. And that is a long list of check marks. I mean, you have to get through the Stone Form, the Astral Shift, the Trinket on the Shaman. You have to get through Divine Shield, Sacrifice, Blessing of Protection, and Trinket, and apparently the entire mana bar of Gorecki. But they did it, and they put a point up on the board. And Unitas at this point, it's an uphill battle for sure, but they're certainly not out. Rogue Mage Priest, super flexible composition, and they play it well.
Yeah, they certainly do. Unitas now 2-1, 1-2 versus Space Station Gaming. Looking to tie it up here in game number 4. If we do go to Blade's Edge, Zico, what is that about Space Station Gaming? Why do we see them pick this map when they're in trouble? What about their comp? Whatever you want to call it, works on Blade's Edge.
Well, you know what I want to call it, but it's fine.
You can call it. Go ahead.
It's fine. Well, in that case, the Fist of Heavens definitely accelerates in Blade's Edge because you have a lot of knocks. You can knock people to the starting room, to the other starting room. If they're stacked up, you can separate them. You can do a lot of cool things there as an Ellie Shaman and as a Windwalker. And I think that's why they like it. Plus, it's a small map, so if you're a mage, it's kind of annoying because you have to go across the bridge and you're kiting Chun, and then when you get to the end of the bridge, you're like, where do I go now? So then you have to go back into Chun, and that's not a good idea, usually.
Not a little bit scary to get knocked into Chun when he's on his Windwalker. But
Yeah.
we're going to Black Root
Oopsies.
Cold. I was wrong. They are going to be locking in what is it? I'm sorry, the Fist of what?
Fist of Heavens.
Fist
Fist
of
of
the
Heavens.
Heavens. Fist of the Heavens.
On Space Station Gaming. Unitas sticking with that RMP. How do we feel about this here, Supties?
I mean, it's standard map. I feel like it's got good defense. You can bait the rogue into some good spots as well for Lightning Lasso. Curious how they're going to choose to close out the game because, I mean, Unitas actually lived to the point where Gorecki was actually out of mana, which was pretty surprising. I don't think that Space Station Gaming were expecting them to have that long of a life. So maybe they get more aggressive on Oxygen. That's what they were doing on Hook Point. So they might go after Oxygen a little bit more frequently than we saw in the last game. They still have 2 maps to work with. I'm trying to think if they have any other comps, if suddenly Unitas just start running away with this, if they have any other comps that would be all right into this. I feel like we haven't got to see a lot of Thugonomics, but I feel like it wouldn't be... Would Windwalker Lock Paladin be a terrible pick then?
Windwalker and Lock Paladin. I don't think it's a terrible pick, no. I don't think it's a
they
terrible pick,
needed
but it's
to.
something they haven't been practicing. I feel like Space Station Gaming, they're still looking pretty good in this series. That last game, they had a win condition. I think they threw it away, if I'm being honest. So it's a little bit cleaner on their offense. Defensively, Space Station Gaming is looking phenomenal, right? But got to be looking for those setups where they can all kind of collide on one target. And it does look like Unitas is going to be making a very aggressive opener. Kidney shot onto Smexen. Good crowd control so far. Polymorph onto Gorecki. This is a great opener, but do they only get the Stone Form from Smexen? It looks like they're only going to get the Stone Form from Smexen. But they didn't really use the Vendetta, so that was just a combustion. I don't know. Now actually just going after Oxygen. Hammer of Justice does land. It looks like maybe Oxygen in this match is going to be more and more of a target for the side of Spacestation Gaming.
Let's see if they can keep it up here. Blind on Grecki. How are they going to respond? Blind is usually the scariest moment in the game against a rogue. Grecki can use Glider's Medallion and break it. Smexon still taking a ton of damage. Oxygen marching forward in position, but walks into a double leg sweep. Beautiful punish, and they are going after Oxygen a lot more here on Blackrock Hold. Hammer of Justice out of the leg sweep, really just laying down the law here. Oxygen's forced back with the Rapture. Chun-Li could hunt after him, but switches back to the Mage. Now back over to Aiden in the kidney shot. Chun-Li is all over the place, using Ring of Peace to bounce Aiden in the room. Is there a Lightning Lasso for a punish on Aiden here? Aiden pre-feints, anticipating it. Oxygen repositions. Smexon holds onto the lasso. Aiden pulls back out of the room. This is exactly why Spacestation Gaming went for this map. If Aiden goes in the room, they swap to him in Lightning Lasso. If Oxygen tries to come close to the room, they swap to Oxygen. So it opens up those two main strategies for Spacestation Gaming. Chun-Li the target at the moment, but Vitality Conduit's rolling from Grecki. He should stabilize. Lightning Lasso. Smexon can run around the corner in the room, not be interrupted. Full Lightning Lasso. That's a lot of damage. Faint, Crimson Vial, and Vitality Conduit recover though, so good reaction by Unitas, not spending basically any mana for that big burst of damage. And it looks like Spacestation Gaming are just kind of like setting up a trap in the room, like, here, come at us. You want to try and get us set up? Then come in the room, and as soon as they come even close, they're going to get stun locked. But I'm wondering, does dampening benefit the Rogue Mage better if this is just a stalemate and Spacestation Gaming refuse to leave the room?
Whoa!
Ooh, that was a big dress there, but no cauterize there. And we're gonna see what they can get done though. It's still extremely low. Your CMD, nice, paralyzed onto Oxygen. And Oxygen's gonna come out of the paralyze. This is the first time Unitas has played Blackrock Hold on broadcast. Spacestation Gaming has a 100% win rate here. So Unitas bringing the fight to the enemy quarters. They got the home field advantage here on the side of Spacestation Gaming. And what can they get done here is the question right now. It's a counterspell on the Smexon's Chain Lightning or Lightning Lasso, and it's looking like mana is pretty even. This is looking more of the same actually. Last game it looked kind of shaky in the start, but the more dampening started ramping up, the better it looked for Unitas.
Well, let's see how this one plays out. I mean, Unitas, like I said, they got through basically a massive grocery list at the end of last game in terms of cooldowns. They had to work through the entire mana bar of Grecki. It was super difficult, and I mean, Oxygen, I have to say, played it really, really well in terms of defensive cooldown usage to actually get his team to that position. Dragon's Breath onto Grecki. Is there going to be a polymorph? Unfortunately not. And Smexon, although he's in a kidney shot with no crowd control onto Grecki and the Avenging Wrath active, they should be able to top off, paralyze. Oh, Chun-Li does such a good job playing defense and denying CMD on actually getting that crowd control, utilizing the Paralyze, the Ring of Peace, the Leg Sweep, the Spearhand Strike. I definitely don't envy CMD. It's a tough spot to be in, and I think it's one of the reasons why we see this matchup going the way it is they just can't get the crowd control they need. Hammer Justice on Oxygen. He's going to trade every man for himself in order to free himself from that crowd control, and Unitas is going to be using the Rapture as well. So good pressure here from Spacestation Gaming. Oxygen's going to be utilizing some of his defensive cooldowns as Smexon and Grecki continue to just run. They're just running. Their job is to just live, do damage, don't die, and hopefully Chun-Li can one-shot someone.
Living on a Drestigath crit here. Spacestation Gaming looking to just try and find victory deeper into dampening. Earthquakes around the corner. Oxygen's moving in, but he gets intercepted. Oh, but Oxygen, Chun-Li also gets intercepted. They bop off to get aggressive on Oxygen. It's not even getting any pressure though. Now finally damage coming in. Is he gonna be able to fake all the interrupts? He uses Vitality Conduit and a big Shadow Man. He's gonna be fine. They swap to Aiden in the Lightning Lasso. Back to the original strategy of baiting the Rogue into the starting quarters. A huge amount of damage. They don't have Vitality Conduit to recover this time, so Oxygen uses the Leap of Faith to pull Aiden back to the pillar. Then they switch to CMD. Now Spacestation Gaming are mounting an assault. Oxygen's trying to drink. If Oxygen can actually drink the full mana, I think that the Rogue Mage Priest will be advantaged in dampening. They stun Chun-Li to stop him from stopping Oxygen. Is he going to get mana? He's drinking. Are they going to trade a block for a full mana bar? 2 ticks, and they hold on to block. That's a beautiful play by Unitas, setting themselves up for later on in the game, but Spacestation Gaming are still looking to punish it. Do they have enough damage? Blind on Grecki. Is he going to trinket? He's choosing not to. They could fall behind. Vendetta gets pulled out. Smexon immediately activating the Fireblood, trying to recover. They punish the Fireblood with the Obsidian Claw, trying to power Smexon down, but The Vitality Conduit stabilized. Big swap to Oxygen, even though he just got a lot of mana back. His health bar's dropping much faster. Double Fist of Fury. Gets Dragon's Breath by CMD. Good punish. The entire team being decimated right now. Oxygen has so much work ahead of himself right here. Aiden's trying to power down Gurecki and Smexen, but they've somehow, some way managed to do it. If Unitas keep playing like this, they could take it to a game 5.
Ooh, Aiden looking to get some pressure here onto Smexen. He gets it. Smexen though catches a big heal, should be okay here. Oxygen looking for a fear potentially. Smexen does have his Tremor Totem available though. Oxygen keeping his distance for now. Chun getting spam sheep right now by CMD, and here's the Hammer of Justice onto Oxygen. Chun is going to go across there, see if he can get some pressure going. He goes for the Fist of Fury, gets immediately Dragon's Breath on it. So Chun's damage is 0 right now, and now he's going to kick CMD, trying to help Smexen out here, just surviving and just trying to cleave, trying to burn the mana here, but they gained so much mana in that exchange. I feel like it's not working out that well so far for Spacestation Gaming. 10% into dampening and you're already tired of mana. Leg sweep coming out on the Oxygen, but Chun gets kidneyed at the same time, so not able to force out any pain suppression or anything like that. Oxygen should also have his, he should have his PvP trinket ready. He's every man for himself. He's a 3-minute cooldown, but he should still be able to use his PvP trinket if he does get stunned up. So Oxygen's defense is looking good. It's just his mana bar, and I think if he can sneak away and get one more drink, Unitas is actually in a very commanding position.
Yeah, it's not looking too bad for them. I mean, it seems like they're kind of heating up in the series. Game number 1 and the game number 2, not looking so good, but game number 3, they started to come back. They were able to put a point on the board, and now I feel like they're starting to find their rhythm in this match. Nice ring of peace there by Chun-Li. Lightning Lasso on Aiden. Do they have the damage to take him down? We'll have to see. Doesn't look like it just yet. Dark Archangel actually gets ripped out there by Oxygen, trying to empower the damage, but unfortunately their damage got completely denied. Now actually doing a go here on Smexen. Blind out onto Gurecki, immediately uses the medallion. A fair trade. Mind control from Oxygen, trying to slow down some of the heals. Gurecki responds with a Hammer of Justice. Now a cheap shot on Gurecki, cheap shot on Chun-Li. Aiden basically just controlling the entire team, but it's not enough. And Spacestation Gaming, they recover. The beautiful knock there. And it looks like CMD once again, he almost burns down. Massive damage coming in from Chun-Li, almost just taking down CMD instantly. And I'm really wondering what build Chun-Li is playing. What is he playing? Reaping Flames? He actually is not. I don't know where this damage is coming from. It must be just Drestigath. But man, I mean, CMD, there's been so many times in this match where Cauterize almost gets procced. And I'm sure Chun-Li is frustrated that it hasn't.
All right, let's see if they can keep it up here. They're so close. I mean, no Astral Shift for Smexen, no Gliders Medallion for Gurecki, but Aiden in trouble, activating the feint, reducing some pressure, chugging that Crimson Vial. Big heals on himself. Chun-Li still going for CMD. Oxygen sneaking in for a Psychic Scream. They have Tremor, but they at least get Tremor out of the way for the next Psychic Scream, so nice move by Oxygen. CMD getting blasted though, dampening at 23%. That drink earlier by Oxygen could be game-winning for the team of Unitas if they can hold it together just a little bit longer. But no, they stack up for a double leg sweep. Oxygen breaks out, but Desperate Prayer may not even be enough. Here, big damage onto Oxygen. Pain suppression on 10% to try and punish Chun-Li with a Shadow Step Kidney, but Oxygen is just falling apart right now. One swap, and he's had to trade out so many defensives, and Chun-Li is just going for it. He smells blood in the water. Ring of Peace pins Oxygen against the wall. Chun-Li going for the solo kill onto Oxygen, and that was sick. Wow.
Poor Oxygen. Oh man, couldn't move. He just boink, boink, boink up against that wall. Wow, incredible Ring of Peace by Chun-Li, finishing off that match. Spacestation Gaming winning that series 3-1. Let's break down those final moments, Supatis. What exactly went through that setup there on Unitas?
You're gonna make me relive through Oxygen's horrible nightmare in those last seconds. I mean, Oxygen just got hit with